My name is Marian, and I am one of the late Frankie Paul who had passed away May the 18th, 2017 at the University Hospital. The reason why I came here, I'm here because I want the world to know. I want the whole world to know, because I must address some issues that I've seen on YouTube channel. I was just scrolling through the YouTube channel where I saw some videos which persons been commenting on the comment part where the funeral has been taking place. His funeral was taking place, yeah. And I was crying my eyes out. You know why I was crying? Because the truth and the fact, he was here with me. He was here with me right in America, United States of America. And he was sick and was attending his appointment, which I made for him to get done. The problem that I wanted to address is that I seen a lot of people bashing the families, saying that if they have family like us, they would have wanted to die. And even me was in it. Even me, they were bashing individuals, saying, why am I crying? Because I knew I'm the one who killed him, and I'm guilty, and all kind of nasty stuff they putting out. Which it was, when I look on the video, recently I saw that video, was last night. I was so embarrassed, saying, so this is how people judge people, and this is how people comment under people's stuff, not knowing what take place. They never try to find out what happened, and they never try to do their research, but they just came up with what they felt like they want to came up with, just to embarrass the family. First of all, people of the world and people of the nation, Frankie Paul wasn't a family person. Frankie Paul wasn't a family person. Let me repeat myself. Frankie Paul wasn't a family person. He was never around the family for too long. Reasons why? He came around the family, and when he wants to do what he wants to do, and we are telling him that it's not right, he don't want to stay around you. Frankie Paul is a person who don't want to be around you if he's doing stuff and he knew you're going to talk about it, which is not right. Because even before we found out that he was diabetic, 1999, we were always having problem with him coming around us. He was bringing people around him, people that just know him from nowhere. People heard that he was at our house in Jamaica, and they were here any way how they have to get to him. They will take plane, bus, car, whatever they could take to get to him. And as soon as they get there to him, they came and was begging. And they beg him, even if he had the last, he gave it to them. And they weren't looking out for his interests. They weren't looking out for nothing good for him. They were just coming to take and grab and rob what they could have gotten. And we were a family who wasn't putting up with that. And he doesn't like when you tell him not to do such things, which is not right. Specific things, which is not right. So he never tried to stay around the family member. So I don't want nobody coming here on YouTube bashing the family, saying, oh, we are the person who killed him, and and if they have family like us, they would have preferred died. You people is coming on here commenting, they know themselves, commenting on here. You need to stop, come and talk about people business which you don't even know about. And I hate my gut when I see people commenting and talking bullshit and commenting and bashing people and disrespecting people, not knowing who was Frankie Paul. Frankie Paul wasn't a saint, and Frankie Paul wasn't a man who wants to be around us. He separated himself from us time and time again. A lot of time when I used to live in the UK, people call me and let me know that he was at certain hotel, and I take it upon myself, and I go and visit him, and I did what I have to do for him. I trimmed him if he's supposed to trim. And he's a man who likes like his ear to be Jerry curl, S curl. And I'm always buying the kit and I S-curl his hair. I'm always ironing his clothes. I'm always preparing his clothes. I'm always buying his clothes for him because he's a man who likes white. And he likes to be putting together. That's what he is. He's a very skeptic person. Very skeptic in his dressing. He's a sharp dresser. He likes to dress sharp and looking fine and dandy. He likes his ear to be up. He likes to be neat. That's what he is. So it's not like we wasn't trying to be a part of his life. We were trying to, but he was pulling away from us. He wanted to be around people who allow him to smoke what he's not supposed to smoke, especially when we found out that he was diabetic. And he wants to be around people who gave him food that he's not supposed to eat. That's what he was like. So I don't want nobody coming here bashing the family. We didn't do anything wrong to him. We didn't achieve anything from him either. We didn't get anything from him. We do for ourselves. We didn't go and stretch out our hand begging him anything. Because in my sense of remembering, if you see a stranger, which is not even a cousin, a cousin, a niece, a nephew, if you see those kind of people come around him, he's not even giving you what he have willingly. You'll prefer give a stranger out there, a person that passed by and came and beg. You'll give them all he have. But when it comes down to family, you ain't getting nothing from him. So I don't want nobody coming over here or going on YouTube bashing us. Oh, the family was this and the family was that. The family didn't do anything to him. The family is not to be blamed. It's him to be blamed about his life, how he's used to living. Him to be blamed about his lifestyle, what he used to live. Because he never handed out nothing to any one of us. And all his years traveling all over the world, he never brought any one of my sisters or brother or me, myself, to no farm of America, USA, no farm of America. He never brought us. He never traveled with us. He never think of traveling with us. I was very close to him. Very, very close. When I say very close, I'm the only one who is determined to know what is going on in his life when he's travel. Because I'm always living in the UK. Then I move over to America. And whenever time I heard that he's there and he's right there, I put out my interest to find him. Because I know who is around is going to be abusing him. And who is around is going to be using him and to take what he have. And at the last moment, at the end of the day, when he got down sick, and everyone used him up, used him, abused him, and took what they could have gotten. Nobody want to see him anymore. So this is how he end up with me. He end up with me when he's in the USA, and he end up with my younger sister when he's in Jamaica. Because let me tell you people, if Frankie don't want you to find him, you can't find him. But he find people who he wants to find, and he call people who he wants to call. That's the kind of person. And I'm telling the honest truth. Because lying about whatever went down and what go down make any sense to me. And it's not helping me to lie. I'm right here telling the whole world the truth. Who was Frankie Paul? Whether you want to believe it, yes or no. Because I don't need to lie. I'm one of his youngest sister, and I don't need to lie about what has taken place. And another thing I want to say right now too, which he never got the recognition of what he's supposed to get in the music industry. He never got it. He never got the recognition because he didn't have family member around him. All that he had was stranger traveling all over the place. Frankie Paul brought a lot of people to the United States of America. He brought a lot of people to the UK. He brought a lot of people to Canada. And he brought a lot of people all over the world. But yet none of them was his sister, brother, nephew, cousin, uncle, auntie, nieces, nephew. None of them wasn't family member. It was just totally stranger he brought all over the world and gave them a life. But at the end of the day, I didn't saw none of them at the funeral, and it was such a shame. None of who I knew of, which he helped, they never turned up. They never even tried to participate. They never even tried to find out what went down. Yeah. In this music industry, Frankie Paul has gotten a lot of rob from people. A lot of rob. When I say rob, left, right, and center. A lot of rob. He have been robbed all over the world. Like I said, he have been robbed. He never get his fair share in the music industry. And what hurts my gut is that I've seen all kind of people that they putting up on pedestal, and they still talking about in the history. And I've been looking and I still see all kind of stuff going on. And I don't believe it was fear for him to be buried in Dovecot either. He and Gregory Isaac and other artists have been buried in Dovecot. And when I found out before he was buried, allegedly that the minister, I don't even remember her name, the minister, she was said, I allegedly heard that she said there wasn't any other spot for him to be buried at the, I think it was the Era Circle. And now I heard that it was spot has been found to bury one of the icon. And I don't think it's fair for the others to be buried in Dovecot while one has been buried in the Era Circle. It's not fair at all. And this is why I'm talking and I'm speaking the truth. Because he was not supposed to be buried in Dovecot because he's a great icon. And I don't know if people realize or people see that he's a great icon. But to my knowledge, he's a great icon for all the works that he have done. And all the work that he have left behind. All the work he have put out for so many years. He have never got enough recognition for it. And this is why I'm speaking out. Because I've been sitting down day by day and listening out and looking, and I haven't heard his music play that much. And it's been dawned on me for quite a while. So this is why I felt like I want to come out now. And this is why I came out and speaking about him. This is the reason. It's not any other reason. I'm not looking any handout, and I'm not looking anything from anyone, because I'm fine and I'm okay. I'm just saying he need more recognition even though he has been passed. He need it. He need more recognition even though he has been passed away. It is now 3 years. He died at age 51, and his birthday have just passed the 19th of October. And even though his birthday have been passed the 19th of October, I was still listening out. I was still going around, and I still haven't heard no one spoke about him. No one have spoken about him. But you know what I get to understand? This music industry is a business. It's a business thing. Business thing. Yeah. All the icons who have been passed away, nobody remember them, and it's not fair, and nobody spoke about them anymore. It's like, as you dead, and that's it. It's not fair. I think we should still have their legacy live on, and we should still have them, the memory of them live on, by still, if it's even to keep, like, have a certain time when you played all of those icons who have passed away in the music industry. I think it is fair for us to still playing their music so that people recognize them, and people knew that they were a great icon. It's very unfair, I'm telling you people, and I'm mad about it. It's very, very unfair, and I'm upset about it, especially speaking out about my own brother, Frankie Paul, who had been buried in Dovecot. And I was listening to the news the last time. I think it was the news when I heard the minister spoken out that the Toots is gonna be buried in the Toots is gonna be buried in the Era Circle. So then that means all of those legendary icons who are buried in Dovecot need to bury it over there too. That's how I felt about it. And it's the honest truth. And I don't know how others felt, but this is how I felt about it. Because if he's going to be buried over there, why not dig up all the other icons who have been buried in Dovecot and bury them over there? Or even have a place for those icons so that people could come, tourists should travel to Jamaica and said, well, this is where Frankie Paul has buried. This is where Gregory Isaac have buried. And it goes on. That's what I felt. And this is how I think. And that's the truth. And the truth and nothing but the whole truth. So I'm going to be closing off my video by saying, the people who are bashing us, the family, you need to stop. You need to stop. If you want to find out what went down, or what was Frankie Paul like, or the lifestyle of Frankie Paul, I think you need to call me and I will let you know. Or call the rest of family member, and you will get the understanding who he is. And stop coming after us. We are not the one to be blamed. We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't rob him. We didn't kill him because of his negligence. He left from over here, which I promised to keep him with me because I work in the nursing field. I promised to keep him with me and to take care of him and to help him with the kind of sickness that he have. I even stopped working for over 8 months just to take care of him. And he left because I wanted not him to eat the food that he has been eating, which was supposed to cut out, and he was supposed to stop eating all those food. And because he didn't want to listen to me, and he didn't want to do what I said, and he didn't want to stick to the diet that I put him on, he left from here to travel to Jamaica. And before he left, he said he was leaving out. He was leaving out, and I said, no, you're not going to Jamaica, because if you go to Jamaica, you will die. And he was saying I should stop bring down debt on him, which that's what taking place. He was saying to stop bring down debt on him, because the truth and the fact is, up until now, I still cried over the situation. You know why? Because I knew what was going to take place. Because the person that he went to wasn't gonna take care of him like I do. Because all they're in it for is what they could have gotten. That's all I could say to people. And I want to let people know that Frankie Paul didn't die of kidney failure. He didn't die of kidney failure. And that's another story that I could talk about. He didn't die of kidney failure. It was an alleged family member who have taken his life short. Cut his life very short. And I want the world to know. And it's the truth. He didn't die of kidney failure because he left here good. He left here, he was in Montefiore Hospital where all his organs have been checked out and he was fine, and they discharged him right back to me. And he didn't have any, the doctor didn't say he have any kidney problem over here. Since he left, traveled to Jamaica, he was given stuff to take, which he's not supposed to take, and this is what ended his life. This is what ended in life, and I want people to know that he didn't die of kidney failure, which the university hospital is saying. They have to find something to come up with because they don't know, they don't sure what has killed him. So this is why they are saying it's kidney failure when it's not kidney failure. And it is the truth. I don't have to lie. I don't have to come on here and lie. Because before Frankie Paul died, he called me after he got to Jamaica. Even though I canceled his ticket for him not to travel, he still went to the airport on his own and bought a ticket just to travel to Jamaica. Because of that alleged person keep calling him, telling him to come down because they have some work for him to do, and he got a lot of person waiting to get some dub play to do. I overheard the conversation and I look at him and I said, don't go to Jamaica. Just like what I used to do. I used to take him to the studio and he used to voice all those dub plates, and I used to email them to whoever wanted them, and they used to send him his money through Western Union, Jamaica National, and so on. So he never have no reason to go to Jamaica, but that alleged family decided that they want him to Jamaica just to get him killed, and they get their satisfaction. But I want to tell the world that God is not sleeping, and all of us is going to get paid according to all we work. We're going to get paid according to all we work. And it's such a sad story that he had to pass away so young at age 51. Very sad story, and it hurt my gut. It hurt my gut and it hurt my feelings. I couldn't have kept him back because Frankie Paul is a person when he decided that he wants to go. Even if he's going to lie to you, which he did to me. He told me that he was going over to Queens, the studio, to voice some dub plate while I was here preparing food for him when he get back. And he never traveled back. He never came back here. He traveled. He was just lying to me because he want to get away to go to Jamaica. Because he wants to eat what he's not supposed to eat. And I didn't allow him to eat it. And he got mad at me most of the time and making complaint to other family in Jamaica. They're there as proof. And family over here telling them that I'm treating him like he's a child and I don't want him to eat this. And I've been giving him this and I'm giving him that. So this is what I wanted to say. I want to clearly hear by telling people that I'm the last person he was with before he traveled to Jamaica and died. I'm the last person that he was with. The last person, which is a sister. And I begged him not to go to Jamaica, and he decided that he's going to Jamaica one way or the other, whether or not I knew about it. That's how he died. Allegedly, is an allegedly family member of him, not me, because I don't own them as family. That's the person who's responsible for his death. And I still have the evidence up until now. My sister, Tisha, have the evidence. Because I asked her if she have the evidence, and she said yes, she still have the evidence. The evidence is still there. And trust me, I'm gonna seriously do an investigation, because I know people is gonna wondering what am I talking about. I'm gonna do an investigation, and I'm gonna write a book about him and his life and his history and what happened. People, he suffered. He suffered a lot, because I've seen his pain, and I cried with him when he's crying. I cried with him when he was crying, because he had the leg that been amputated, and he was still having exclusive pain in that leg. Serious pain. Even I brought him to this doctor who is a pain management doctor, and they said the only way he's gonna get rid of that pain is that he have to do a surgery. The pain is very exclusive. It's the nerve that's been bothering him, and it end up in his back. So the doctor was telling us that it was a pinched nerve, which one of the discs has been slipping out of his back, and in order for him to stop feeling that pain and to start walking on his own, balance on his own, he has to take a surgery. And that surgery was a load of money. And when we found out, we seek around and go all over. We asked people who did the surgery before, and people told us the experience of the surgery. Maybe you will survive in the surgery. You may live, as well as you may cripple, as well as you may die. And we never decided to do that surgery. So I took him to another pain meds doctor, which gave me some painkiller, which it was an ointment to rub on his feet at night. And as soon as I rubbed it on his feet at night, it finally weared off, and he got up and started crying, and I was crying with him too. So he'd been through a lot of pain. He suffered a lot before he died. He really suffered a lot. But the thing about it, he wasn't listening either, because he was still hiding and having people taking over stuff that he's not supposed to eat. Still hiding behind my back when they came to visit him, and letting them know that he don't want me to know, because I'm going to be taking it away from him, which I did oftentimes. So this is what I'm going to end with you people, that Franky Paul didn't die at kidney failure. This is what the paper had to put out, because they don't know what went down. But I'm here as a witness, and I'm here to tell the world that before Franky Paul died, when he was in Jamaica, he was calling me to come back for him in Jamaica, but that I couldn't have done right away. So this is how I call my family member to step in. And this is how my younger sister, found him. And when she found him, he was a disaster. When she found him, he's already poisoned. His body already poisoned. So that's how she took him to the hospital. And this is how they had to pronounce him, that it was a kidney failure, which is not. It's not a kidney failure. When he got sick, he was so blown up. He was so huge, swell. Until when you look at him, he would have burst. When you saw him, how big he was, or he was so swelling up because of the poison that was circulating through his body. Days and days and days. That's what went down in Franky Paul's life. And I'm going to end it right here, and I'm going to leave it right here. All I'm saying, people need to know what has been taking place. And people need to know that Franky Paul has sisters and brothers, nephews, son, daughter, uncle, cousin, nieces, nephew. He got a lot of family, but he wasn't around the family because he chose not to be around us. It's after his sickness, he finally decided that he wants to be around me, and he wanted me to take care of him. And it is the truth. And a lot of people over here could vouch for that. Because a lot of people would have called, and I let him speak to people who have never spoken to him before. And I let people came over here who have never saw him before. So this is the truth. I don't need to lie. So all of you who's on YouTube commented under the funeral service saying that we killed him and family like us, you prefer died and all those, go get your facts straight. And this is the fact that I'm giving you people. Stop bashing us, because I still see people writing up underneath it. I just recently looked at it last night. I just felt like scrolling through the YouTube and to look back in memories of Frankie Paul. And when I look at it, it was a disgrace what people have written up about us. We didn't do anything wrong. We're not guilty of what you people are saying. We're not guilty. We're innocent people. It was him decided to live his life the way how he wants to live, by staying away from family member because he wants to do what he wants to do. And when he wants to do what he wants to do, he's a man of his own mind. And when he made up his mind, that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to be doing. You can't stop him. Okay? We didn't do anything wrong. We did what we're supposed to do for him. We did what we're supposed to do for him. And we wanted the best for him. But he never wanted the best for himself. And he's a person who, again, one more thing, he's a man who likes to go around people who doesn't mean him any good. He's a man who, even if you robbed him today, he came around you again. He always want to be around bad people, not good people. That's the kind of person who I'm speaking about. Frankie Paul always want to be around the bad people. And if you robbed him, he still came around you. He don't try to stay away from you. This is how he is. Even when he was in the hospital in Montefiore, people who came there to visit him came there and robbed him. When I said robbed him. He had money in the drawer, and they came and took away his money. And when I started to talk about it, he was telling me to hold it down. That's what he is like. I tried to alert the doctors and the nurse. And anytime he get robbed, he don't want you to talk about it. He's always telling you to hold it down. He's not a person who would speak up for himself. You have to speak up for him. And anytime I see certain persons around him who robbed him, or who came around him to rob him again, and I say, I don't want you around here. I don't want you to be coming back over here. He's telling me, stop it. I should stop it. Stop talking like that. That's the kind of person who I'm speaking about. Yeah. So we didn't do anything wrong to him. We, the family member, didn't do anything wrong to him. We tried to protect him the best way we can, even though he wasn't doing anything for us. Even though he doesn't do anything for us. I do for myself. And I do for the rest of my family who is back home in Jamaica. I did. Yes, I do for my family. I help my family as lot as I can because I'm a family person. I am for my family. Not for stranger, for family. I don't say if stranger doesn't come along, I won't help. But I'm a person, I'm a family person. I looked out for my family. But he wasn't a person who looked out for his family. So I don't want nobody coming on YouTube bashing me now when I finish talking. Because none of you know the story. None of you know the story. None of you know the history of the family. You know what you see. But you don't know the deep story about what has been taking place. And what had been happening in the family's life. And way back years ago. So I'm telling you the story. And even, I believe it was I put out a video on Dancehall Skiller talking about who was Frankie Paul. And this man came along, I won't call his name, and was saying that I'm a liar. I wasn't the last person who Frankie Paul have seen. And he was the one who took Frankie Paul at the airport. And even when I was saying, yeah, I'm the last person that he left the house from, the man was still saying that I'm a liar and decided that he want to go live to bash me and to criticize me and to let people think that I lied and I'm fabricating story. And it ended up that he was so embarrassed. And it ended up that he was wrong. He was wrong. And you know the worst thing? He's not even a family member. He was a dead stranger. And he was talking about 40 years ago, which nobody didn't care to hear. Because I wasn't talking about 40 years ago when Frankie Paul have just traveled to the United States of America. I was talking about the story of him, how he never got his fair share in the music industry. I wasn't talking about no traveling, which he came about, and I don't know what was he looking, or what was he trying to prove. But he said this woman, and he styled me as a woman, is a liar, and I wasn't the last person that saw him. But how is he gonna tell me about my own brother? I could sit here and I could preach the whole day, and I could tell you all about him, which nobody know. Nobody knew his background. Nobody knew his character, and I could sit here and I could tell you. Because the truth and the fact, I was the one who determined to be all over with him. And I used to follow him to the studio when I was very young, at a young age. And I didn't left the studio. I even did a song And he stopped me from doing music, saying that I'm going to be getting robbed. Because I was in the music business, in the industry too, when I was very young at age 16. And he was the one who stopped me from doing my music, because he said I was going to be robbed by promoter and all those things, because he knew what he'd been through. So this is why he was putting me on my guard. And at the end of the day, I would be famous right now if he didn't stop me. Even when I was going to be getting robbed, I knew everybody got robbed in the music industry. But my brother, my own brother, stopped me from doing what I wanted to do. So I end up got a little older, and I started to work at Penthouse Recording Studio. Bless up Mr. Donovan Germain for having me there. Yeah. And I could go on and on and on, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to clear the ear about these people that I've seen putting up written on YouTube that we kill our brother, and if they have family like us, they would have preferred to die. People stop coming on here and talking what you don't know. People is quick to judge and quick to talk quick to say what they don't know. And people is quick to listen to lies more than the truth. So this is why I'm here clearing the ear, because it got me upset. And when I look at it, I say, oh no, this is not right, and I have to do this video. And this is how I do the video. I want to say thanks to each and every one of everyone who took the time out to listen. And I want to bless each and every one of them. Every one of you people who is out there listening to me, and who understand what I'm saying, and who got the sense out of what I'm trying to say. Bless up to each and every one of you. Thank you.